Hello students, today we will discuss exercise 6.3. So let's start with question number 1. In that problem, we are given a figure in which side QP and side RQ of triangle PQR are produced to point S and point T respectively. And value of angle SPR is 135 and that of angle PQT is 110. For such a case, we have to find the value of angle PRQ. So this PRQ we have to find. So let's check the solution. In this figure, as side QP and side RQ of triangle PQR are produced to point S and point T respectively. So obviously two exterior angle like SPR and angle PQT are formed. And by exterior angle property, each of these two exterior angle could be better expressed as the sum of their two interior opposite angles. It means angle SPR equals to angle PRQ plus angle PQR. Similarly, this exterior angle PQT equals to angle QPR plus angle PRQ. Now in each of these two exterior angle, you may observe that one of their two interior opposite angles involve angle PQR. That's why with the help of any one of these two exterior angle, this angle PQR could be calculated. So in triangle PQR, we have angle SPR equals to angle PRQ plus angle PQR. Reason: exterior angle property. Therefore, angle PRQ equals to angle SPR minus angle PQR, where angle SPR equals to 135. Therefore, this relation becomes angle PRQ equals to, at place of SPR we use 135 minus angle PQR. Let this be equation first. Now from equation first, you may observe that this angle PRQ is calculated if value of angle PQR is known. So for angle PQR, we observe the ray RT on which two adjacent angle PQT and PQR are formed, whose non-common arms QT and QR just opposite to each other. Therefore, angle PQT and angle PQR will be linear pair of angles. That's why their sum will be 180 degree. So angle PQT plus angle PQR equals to 180 degree. Reason: linear pair of angles. Therefore, angle PQR equals to 180 degree minus angle PQT, where angle PQT we are given as 110. Therefore, angle PQR equals to 180 degree minus PQT we use 110. 180 minus 110 equals to 70 degree. Let's use this value of angle PQR in equation first. Therefore, angle PRQ becomes 135 minus PQR we use 70 degree. Thus, angle PRQ equals to 135 minus 70. It means 65 degree. That's the required answer. In question number 2, we are given a figure in which value of angle X is 62 degree, that of angle XYZ is 54 degree, and YO bisects the angle XYZ, ZO bisects the angle XZY. For such a case, we have to find the value of angle OZY and angle YOZ. So let's revise the condition which we are given. So we are given value of angle X is 62 degree. Here by angle X we mean angle YXZ. So this we are given 62 degree. And angle XYZ is 54 degree. Angle XYZ is 54 degree. And as YO bisects the angle XYZ, therefore each of angle OYX and OYZ will be half of angle XYZ. So angle OYX equals to angle OYZ, and each of these two angles will be half of angle XYZ. Similarly, as ZO bisects the angle XZY, therefore each of angle OZX and angle OZY will be half of angle XZY. Similarly, angle OZX equals to angle OZY, and each of these two angles will be half of angle XZY. Let's start the calculation. Here, in order to find the value of angle OZY, we use this relation that angle OZY is half of angle XZY. So here angle OZY equals to half of angle XZY, and this we are given actually. Now from this relation, value of angle OZY is calculated if value of angle XZY is known. So in order to find the value of angle XZY, we observe the triangle XYZ in which two of three angles are known, so that third unknown angle XZY could be calculated using angle sum property. So let this be equation first, and in triangle XYZ we have angle YXZ plus angle XYZ plus angle XZY equals to 180 degree. Reason: angle sum property. Where value of angle YXZ we are given 62 degree and that of angle XYZ we are given 54 degree. Therefore this relation becomes 62 plus 54 plus angle XZY equals to 180 degree. On simplifying, it becomes 62 plus 54, 116 plus angle XZY equals to 180. Therefore, angle XZY equals to 180 minus 116, and this angle XZY becomes 64 degree. Let's use this XZY equals to 64 in equation first. So use it in equation first. Therefore, angle OZY becomes half of angle XZY. We use 64 degree, and half of 64 will be 32. So that's the required value of angle OZY, 32 degree. Now in order to find the value of angle YOZ, we use angle sum property in triangle OYZ. So in triangle OYZ we have angle YOZ plus angle OZY plus angle OYZ equals to 180 degree. Reason: angle sum property. Let's separate the angle YOZ. So this angle YOZ equals to 180 minus angle OZY minus angle OYZ. So this equals to 180 minus angle OZY. This we calculate earlier as 32 minus angle OYZ. Angle OYZ you were given as half of angle XYZ, where XYZ is 54 degree. Therefore, half of 54 becomes 27 degree. That's why this angle OYZ equals to 27 degree. So at place of OYZ we use 27 degree. Therefore, angle YOZ equals to 180 minus 32 minus 27. It means 59 degree. So this equals to 121 degree. Thus, the required value of angle YOZ equals to 121 degree. That's the required second answer. In question number 3, we are given a figure in which AB is parallel to DE and value of angle BAC is 35 degree and that of angle CDE is 53 degree. For such a case, we have to find the value of angle DCE. So this angle DCE we have to calculate here. So let's check the solution. In order to find the value of angle DCE, we prefer to use angle sum property for triangle DCE. So in triangle DCE, we have angle CDE plus angle DCE plus angle DEC equals to 180 degree. Reason: angle sum property. Let's separate the angle DCE. So this relation becomes angle DCE equals to 180 minus angle CDE minus angle DEC, where value of angle CDE we are given 53 degree, where angle CDE equals to 53 degree. Therefore, angle DCE equals to 180 degree minus angle CDE we use 53 degree minus angle DEC. Hence, angle DCE equals to 127 minus angle DEC. Let this be equation first. From this equation, you may observe it clearly that value of angle DCE can be calculated if the value of angle DEC is known. So let's check how the value of angle DEC can be determined. As AB is parallel to DE, therefore for the transversal AE, the alternate interior angles so formed like BAE and angle DEA will be equal to each other. So as AB is parallel to DE, therefore alternate interior angles, angle BAE and angle DEA will be equal to each other. Reason: alternate interior angles. This time in the figure you may observe that this angle BAE is same as angle BAC. So angle BAE we may write as equals to angle BAC. Similarly, angle DEA is as same as angle DEC. So that DEA we use angle DEC. Let's use this angle DEC as equals to angle DEA. Therefore, equation first becomes angle DCE equals to 127 degree, and at place of DEC we use angle DEA. And you got to know earlier that angle DEA equals to angle BAE. Therefore, at place of DEA we use BAE. So this DCE equals to 127 minus, at place of DEA we use BAE. And this BAE is nothing but angle BAC. Therefore, angle DCE equals to 127 degree minus angle BAE we use angle BAC, where value of angle BAC you are given 35 degree. So this DCE, angle DCE equals to 127 minus BAC we use 35 degree. Thus the required value of angle DCE equals to 7 minus 5 2 and 12 minus 3 9, 92 degree. That's the required answer. In question number 4, we are given a figure in which lines PQ and RS intersect each other at point T, such as value of angle PRT is 40 degree, that of angle RPT is 95 degree, and angle TSQ is 75 degree. For such a case, we have to find the value of angle SQT. So this time you may observe that this angle SQT is a part of triangle TQS. So in triangle TQS we use angle sum property. So in triangle TQS we have angle TSQ plus angle SQT plus angle QTS equals to 180 degree. Reason: angle sum property. Angle sum property. Let's separate this angle SQT. Therefore, angle SQT becomes 180 minus angle TSQ and minus angle QTS. Where angle TSQ we are given 75 degree, angle TSQ equals to 75 degree. Therefore, on using TSQ equals to 75 degree, this relation becomes angle SQT equals to 180 degree minus 75 degree minus angle QTS. 180 minus 75 is 105 minus angle QTS. Let this be equation first. In this equation first, you may easily observe that angle SQT could be determined if the value of angle QTS is known. So let's check how this angle QTS can be determined. As PQ and RS are intersecting each other at T, so obviously angle PTR and angle QTS will be vertically opposite angles, hence they are equal. So as PQ and RS intersect at the point T, therefore vertically opposite angles, angle PTR equals to angle QTS. Reason: vertically opposite angles. So at place of angle QTS, we may use angle PTR. Therefore, equation first becomes angle SQT equals to 105 minus, at place of QTS, we use angle PTR. Let this be equation 2. Now, this SQT could be determined if value of angle PTR is known. And this time PTR is the part of triangle PRT. So in triangle PRT, we use angle sum property and calculate the value of angle PTR. In triangle PTR, angle PRT plus angle RPT plus angle PTR equals to 180 degree. Reason: angle sum property. Where at place of angle RPT, we use 95 degree, and at place of angle PRT, we use 40 degree. Therefore, this relation becomes 40 degree plus 95 degree plus angle PTR equals to 180. 40 plus 95 is 135 degree plus angle PTR equals to 180 degree. Therefore, angle PTR equals to 180 minus 135. 180 minus 135. So this angle PTR becomes 180 minus 135. It is 45 degree. Let's use this value of angle PTR in equation 2. So we use it in equation 2. Thus, value of angle SQT becomes 105 minus PTR, that we use 45 degree. So 105 minus 45 degree, this is 60 degree. So that's the required value of angle SQT. In question number 5, we are given a figure in which PQ is perpendicular to PS and PQ is parallel to SR, and value of angle SQR is 28. This SQR we are given 28 degree, and that of angle QRT is 65 degree. So this QRT is 65 degree. For such a case, we have to find the values of X and Y. So this time, as PQ and SR are parallel to each other, therefore for the transversal QR, the alternate interior angles so formed, angle PQR and angle QRT, will be equal to each other. So here angle PQR equals to angle QRT. Reason: alternate interior angles. Here you may observe that this angle PQR includes angle PQS and angle SQR. Therefore, this angle PQR could be written as sum of angle PQS and angle SQR. So this relation we can rewrite as angle PQS plus angle SQR equals to angle QRT, where value of angle PQS we have X, angle SQR 28 degree, and that of angle QRT is 65 degree. Let's use all these values in this relation. So it becomes X plus 28 degree equals to 65 degree. Therefore, X equal to 65 degree minus 28 degree. Hence, the value of X becomes 37 degree. That's the required value of X. Next to it, we have to find the value of y. So y is a part of triangle PSQ, in which its two angles we are given as 90, and this angle x we calculate earlier as 37 degree. So we use angle sum property in that triangle. So in triangle PSQ, we have angle SPQ plus angle PQS plus angle PSQ equals to 180 degree. Reason: angle sum property. Where angle SPQ, this angle SPQ we have 90 degree, angle PQS x, and this x we calculate earlier as 37 degree, and angle PSQ is y. Let's use them all in this relation. So it becomes 90 plus x plus y equals to 180. So it is 90 plus, at place of x we use 37 degree, plus y equals to 180 degree. 90 plus 37 is 127 degree, plus y equals to 180. Therefore y equals to 180 minus 127. Thus the required value of y becomes 180 minus 127. This is 53 degree. So the required value of x and y are 37 degree and 53 degree. And the last question of this exercise 6.3 is 6. In that problem, we are given a figure in which the side QR of triangle PQR is produced to a point S, and bisectors of angle PQR and angle PRS meet each other at point T. For such a case, we have to prove that angle QTR, this angle QTR, is half of angle QPR. So let's revise the conditions we are given. As QT bisects the angle PQR, so angle PQT equals to angle RQT, and each of these two angles will be half of angle PQR. Similarly, as RT bisects the angle PRS, therefore angle PRT equals to angle SRT, and each of these two angles will be half of angle PRS. To prove that angle QTR is half of angle QPR. So let's start with proof. In this figure, you may observe that this angle QTR could be better expressed in terms of the exterior angle TRS. So here in triangle QTR, this exterior angle TRS equals to angle QTR plus angle RQT. Reason: exterior angle property. Let's separate this angle QTR. So it becomes angle QTR equals to angle TRS minus angle RQT. Where angle TRS we use half of angle PRS minus angle RQT we use half of angle PQR. So this angle QTR equals to, that half we take out as common, remaining angle PRS minus angle PQR. Let this be equation first. Now we observe the triangle PQR. So in triangle PQR, its exterior angle PRS, we have angle QPR plus angle PQR. Reason: exterior angle property. So this angle PRS minus angle PQR equals to angle QPR. We use this value of angle PRS minus angle PQR in equation first. So use it in equation first. Therefore it becomes angle QTR equals to half of this difference, we write angle QT, angle QPR. Hence proved. That's it.